Well, hello. It's fantastic to be here at COP28 and the Reaching the Last Mile Forum. I'm encouraged that we're talking about the ways climate change affects health and sharing ideas about how to help people thrive even in a somewhat warmer world. Let me first thank His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan and the people of the United Arab Emirates for hosting us. You've done a fantastic job. And for the partnership we've had on global health over many years. I'm very grateful for your commitment to polio eradication and the Islamic Development Bank's support to end polio in Pakistan. We stand beside you proudly in this effort. It was great to hear the story of how Sheikh Zayed and President Jimmy Carter started this all off. There's always a question in an event like this, how much we show the suffering from these diseases. And because we're all committing more money, we spared you having to look at the gruesome effects. But I think it's always valuable to go out in the field and rededicate ourselves to this being a form of unnecessary suffering that we really should commit whatever we can to bring to an end. 50 years ago, the people of Niger made their first attempt to fight onchocerciasis. Although the disease is also called river blindness, it doesn't just affect your vision. It causes awful lesions that can get severely infected. At one point, half of all West Africans were at risk of contracting oncho. Early on, researchers in Niger set out to collect black flies to identify how oncho was being spread. People used larvicide, including from helicopters, and some people had to abandon their land simply to get away from this awful disease, even when it was fertile and desirable in other ways. But in 1987, this difficult story took a turn for the better. Merck saw that its pill, ivermectin, could prevent oncho and donated enough to give entire populations this drug over decades. It was a challenge to get out to even the most remote areas and to do the fly catching to reduce the spread. But in 2023, Niger achieved a remarkable milestone, becoming the very first African country to eliminate transmission of the disease. Of course, the UAE played a pivotal role in this success by launching the Reaching the Last Mile Fund to eliminate oncho and other awful diseases, including lymphatic filariasis, or LF. Our foundation has been honored to support this work since 2017, along with SIF, Helmsley Charitable Trust, ELMA, the End Fund, and other partners. Since the world came together in 2012 with the London Declaration to prioritize the end of NTDs, 50 countries have eliminated at least one NTD, and 600 million people are no longer requiring treatment because they're at risk of these diseases. And now we come here today to dedicate ourselves to finishing the job. These diseases are preventable. But if we take off the pressure, if we stop giving out the drugs, the burden will grow. That's especially true as climate change brings more extreme weather, which helps the vectors that spread the disease thrive for longer and in places they were not present before. That said, the commitment and funding will eliminate the threat of NTDs and save millions of lives. Our models show that the increased coverage of treatments will have a dramatic impact over the next decade. This is one of the best buys in human health. To that end, I'm pleased to announce that the Gates Foundation is matching the $100 million commitment made by His Highness to the Reaching the Last Mile Fund. It's a clear statement about our sense of urgency and optimism for success. This fund will total over $500 million, with the Carter Center and other donors joining in, including African countries. With their generosity, the Reaching the Last Mile Fund will be able to expand its reach from 7 to 39 countries across Africa and in Yemen. Our foundation has also renewed our commitment to partner with the government of Belgium to eliminate sleeping sickness in the DRC by 2030. I'm confident we'll be able to eliminate these diseases for several reasons. First, because of the progress we've seen from the RLM Fund already. Niger is just one example. Senegal will also eliminate onco, and 3 African countries are close to eliminating LF. My second reason for optimism is that we have advances in surveillance and supply chain efficiency. Those have been 2 very tough things, but we have breakthroughs in how to do those. Third, I'm optimistic because of the continued commitment of the pharmaceutical companies to produce and donate the drugs that we use to prevent and treat these diseases. So now is the time to double down on these efforts. And I'm confident that we can rid the world of these debilitating diseases. Thank you.